Hello, today in the lesson we will continue solving examples where we will apply the rules of operation with rational numbers. The rules of multiplication, division, addition and subtraction if necessary. But for today's lesson, I'd like to find the unknown number in proportions, but if the proportion contains negative numbers. Let's write down the first proportion. Minus 7/8 equals a 24th. From this proportion, we need to find the unknown value. In order to solve the proportion, we need to remember what a proportion is and how to solve a proportion. First, let's write down that a proportion is the equality of ratios of numbers. A divided by B equals C divided by D. When we see the notation in the form of a proportion, we can say that this expression is a proportion in the case where the product of A multiplied by D is equal to the product of C times B. And using this basic rule of proportion, we can find the unknown number from the proportion. Applying this rule, we get a times 8, a times 8, a times 8 equals minus 7 times 24. You probably noticed that I didn't first write down minus 7 times 24 equals a times 8. The point is that I can read from left to right or right to left. I find it more convenient to write the unknown variable on the left side. So, 8 times 8 equals minus 7 times 24. I got the equation. This is an equation we can solve easily. The result is a equals minus 7 times 24 and divided by 8. I could multiply minus 7 by 24 and get a number. And then divide that number by 8. But you can write it down like this. It's a convenient way to write it down. When I can divide the numerator and denominator, to divide the numerator and denominator by the same number, 8 and 24 I can divide by 8. 8 divided by 8 is 1. And 24 divided by 8 is 3. As a result, I have that A equals minus 7 times 3. And according to the rule of multiplication of rational numbers with different signs, I get the answer minus 21. We have found what the value of the variable is equal to, and it is minus 21. We will solve the next proportion and find the unknown term of this proportion. And the proportion looks like this. Minus 5/9 equals 10 divided by t. What is special about this proportion? The fact is that when we see such a notation, we can also apply the rules of our proportion, but in this case, there is always a question. Is this minus sign? I write down with the number 5 or with the number 9. You and I have talked about, and we're going to write down this rule. If I have a minus sign in front of a fractional number, I can put that minus sign in the numerator, and then I can make the fraction look like minus 5/9. Or if it's convenient for me, I can put the minus sign in the denominator. And then I'd have a fractional number 5. And the denominator is minus 9. You can do it either way, as you see fit. I find it convenient to write this minus in the denominator. Why? Because I can multiply minus 9 by 10 and then divide by the number 5. So I'll write it down. The equals minus 9 times 10 and divide by 5. In this case, I can divide the number 5 and the number 10 by 5 and then I get 1, and I get 2 in the numerator. And then t would equal minus 9 times 2. That's the number minus 18. When you're solving proportions where the numbers are negative, you apply the same rules for working with negative numbers. We'll solve another example in the next lesson, and that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.